back playing again, but how has training been different this year?
Well, it's been different. The numbers have been down quite a bit. If you hadn't gone viral a few weeks ago, you could have got a game. So it's just been it's been good in ways and difficult in other ways. We're obviously being tested every day. So you're going in, you're getting tested, you find out whether you can stay at the train or not, and then you're seeing your teammates having to turn around and drive home. And obviously then there's the worry about them to see, how are they, the next few days, and a couple of them have struggled a little bit and been quite ill. But the majority of the lads seem to be okay, and fingers crossed that we're through the back of it now, and all the lads can come out with okay. But yeah, it's look. There's been days when there's been 5 and 6 of us training, which is quite hard to do. So credit has to go to the lads that were in training every day, and to the coach and staff who put on some very good sessions for us. To keep us engaged during that time, because it's very easily, to kind of get lost in a session when there's only 5 or 6 players there, and players can go through the motions very easily. But thankfully that hasn't happened with us, and it's been a good period of time for the manager to work with a few players as well, I think, individually. So yeah, it's been a different time, but we've got a few numbers back now, and it seems to be more of a, well, we could have a team this weekend. So that'll tell you more about it.
There are managers and pundits at the higher levels that are calling for a winter break. Now we've kind of unintentionally experienced one. What are your thoughts?
Personally, my thoughts are no, I wouldn't like a winter break. When I grew up, I used to love that it was football on the telly every day. There was something to watch every day. It was a brilliant period of time. For the supporters as well, because you'd always see the extra fans in there on Boxing Day. So I wouldn't like one. If I was to say I wanted one, it purely because I'm a player, but I'm going to be not a player for a lot longer than I am going to be a player. So, I like, the fact that on Boxing Day, throughout my whole career, the support of the whole, whether you're home or away, it's always a bumper crowd. Everyone's always in great form. You see families there, kids going to possibly see, a couple of their first games over the new year with our Christmas presents and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be for it, but then I see the reasoning behind why people want it. But then the ones that are calling for a winter break now, a lot of them probably are calling for a World Cup every 2 years as well. So, who's right, who's wrong? I don't know.
So we also move into January, and that means the obvious rumours are circulating, transfer and loan-wise. How important is it for you to just stay focused on the task?
Yeah, look, it's very important, because I think if you get bogged down in the rumours about players leaving or players coming in or whatever, you take your eye off the ball, and look, you can only do what you can do. The best way to get a move is by sticking your head down and playing really, really well. The best way to stay in the team is by doing the same. The best way to make a manager not make a sign in your position is by going out there and putting in performances that he says, right, I don't need someone there. So, look, you have to just get on with things. Signings are going to happen. Players are going to leave. As part and parcel of football, and it's just about adapting when it happens. And for players who possibly might be getting moves or might be linked with moves, try not to get frustrated if it doesn't come true, because what's meant to be is meant to be. Things are going to happen; they will happen. So on that side of it, it is always difficult. But then you always have the excitement. It's a new year, and this year is completely, even more exciting now, because we haven't played football in 3 weeks. We haven't had a game. You want to start the year off well, and we're no different. So we're looking forward to the weekend's game.
Like I say, that weekend starts on Saturday. Sutton were 23rd last time we played them, and they're 4th now. It's going to be a completely different game, is it not?
It probably won't be a completely different game, because they didn't play like they were 23rd anyway. They played like they were 4th, and especially in the first 60, 65 minutes, it was arguably one of the most difficult games we've had at home this year. And we rode our luck at times, and we defended really well, and then we caught them on the break late on a couple of times. So we're under no illusion how good they are. We know exactly how good they are. We watched a little bit of their game against us again this week, and you can probably, if everyone was to go back and watch that again, you wonder how we came out winning that 2-0. Especially if you looked at the stats and stuff like that. So it shows the resilience of the run we were on at the time. But obviously it shows how good a team they can be as well. So it's going to be a difficult game. It's going to be as tough a game as you're going to have. Especially the week that we're leading into. It's going to be a very, very difficult week. But they're a really good side. They've won the National League last year, and kind of I think any team who comes up, you always see them do well again the following year because they're used to winning. And the same goes for teams when they get relegated. If a team is used to losing, like it can happen again the following season. It's not uncommon to see a team go up again, and the same vice versa, going down and getting relegated again. But we know it's going to be a difficult game for us this weekend, even if we had every player available, and obviously they'll be the same if they have all the players available. But it's going to be even more difficult task for us now with the numbers we're missing.
And like you say, it's been a while since we last played, but if you do look at the forms, we have lost 3 on the bounce. But because it's been so long, that's just a case of just throwing that under the bus now, is it not?
I think so. I think it's a completely different time. We might have lost 3 in the bounce, but I suppose you look at the other way, we've lost 3 in the last 23. So, are we on a bad run or are we on a really good run still? Football is funny. You can throw different stats out and you can look at everything and you can manipulate things to make it look better or look worse. What's the most important thing is the next game. I think the one thing we said about the Tranmere game was, it's always great in League Two. You have another game coming a few days later to play. It's been a long 20 odd days, whatever it has been, 3 weeks. For this, and I think the lads who are available for the weekend are definitely raring to go, and there's no better feeling than playing games, and that's everyone is desperate to get back playing again now, and I'm no different. I think everyone, the players have been, especially the ones who've been isolating over Christmas, they're desperate to get back playing because they've missed out on it so much. The ones who've been in training all the time are desperate to get playing because they've been training for the last 3 weeks and just want to play football. And we've got a situation at the weekend where we're going to go out and give everything we have, and hopefully it's enough for us to get a result on today.
And even with an unfamiliar side, you touched on there, everybody in the squad has got the quality to shine through. Yeah,
I think so. Look, it's a very talented squad. Very talented young squad. So there's players probably going to get a chance this weekend. And it's up to them to show like that they're there and basically make the gaffer make a decision and say, right, don't need to sign a player because we've got X in this position or Y in this position. And I don't want to block their pathway through. So it's a great opportunity for those players. And obviously it's a great opportunity for the other players as well then, because they haven't played in so long, and it's now is the time to go on another run for ourselves, and to get back going again and shoot up the league rather than look behind us.
And finally then, we've already sold out the away end and it's our first ever trip to Gander Green Lane. Saturday could be a very special day for the travelling Grecians.
Yeah, completely. I think any away game they've gone to this year, they've had unbelievable noise, the same as the home fans. But I think away games are always that little bit special. It's a day out. Your supporters, everywhere is miles away from Exeter, so they're leaving early in the morning. The convoy will stop on the way, wherever services it seems to be, and it's the build up and the excitement for the whole day, and you want to reward them for spending their hard-earned money and travelling and using their precious time to go and want to watch their club play. And we're lucky enough that we're playing representing them. We're representing their city. As I said, I think every game this year, or the majority of games this year, we've left everything out on the pitch. Whether the result has been right or wrong is, you can flip a coin on that one. But the one thing you can never doubt is that the effort the players put in. And again, the same thing is going to happen this weekend. We'll put everything we can into winning the game and hopefully make their journey back home a little bit easier and not as not feel as long anyway, and give them a nice little day out. Obviously, like you say, it's the first time that we've played Sutton at Sutton's ground. It'll probably be the first time for a lot of the players as well. So we want to have good memories of it.